Y'all, it's definitely raining today, and it's just so gloomy, but it's the perfect day to stay indoors and record videos. Um, yeah, I'm looking right outside my window right now, and it looks really beautiful. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to my channel starring Nicole, and today's video is going to be about the 5 problems or difficulties that I had to deal with prior to starting or prior to entering the nursing school. The first thing that I had to deal with was the math placement exam. So when you first apply to college, especially, I'm not sure if it's all colleges, but University of Maryland, they require you to take a math placement exam. And guys, honestly, don't BS this placement exam. It's serious. It's very, very serious because when I first what do you call it? When I saw it, I was like, placement exam. What? I took the SATs. I took all this stuff. Y'all still want me to take another placement exam? I'm sorry. Yeah, no, this is summertime, and I'm not about to spend my summer studying to take this exam and whatever. I didn't think it was that serious. I didn't think it was that difficult, but boy, was I wrong. Actually take it serious. I don't know if all schools do this, but if your school does it, take it seriously because it will give you a leg up when you get to college. I didn't take it seriously and I didn't study for it. I just took it. I just took the exam. I sat down. I didn't review. I didn't go over my math skills that I had in the past. And so when I took the exam, I was literally like, I was just like, bro, what am I looking at? It was like literally simple math, like easy math. But because I did not study, I did not know what, like, it told me what to expect, but I was just like, I guess I wasn't serious. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so I took the placement exam and I ended up getting like a really, really low score, and I didn't feel like taking it over again. But I got placed into math 00013, and that's not even, that's just like a basic level of math that you have to take before getting into like a kind of like even more basic level. But basically I ended up taking math 013 for like 2 weeks, and then I went into taking math 113. I didn't take my math placement exam seriously. I ended up placing to a really low math class that kind of pushed me back because in order for me to have taken biology, I needed to be in a higher math. So I had to take a math prior to taking bio, which kind of pushed my nursing classes back. So one thing that I will say, if your school has like a placement exam that you're supposed to take, this is common sense, but just study or review or do something. Don't be like me and like BS it. Most people did, but hey, I'm smart, but I'm not that smart. Some people can just BS it and still get into a higher math, but that wasn't my case. So I had to take that. Kind of pushed me back in terms of the other classes that I had to take. So one thing, you just don't want to do that. Another problem that I had to deal with was getting used to college in general. I was a freshman, and UMD is not a small school. It is a very, very huge campus. And just in general, getting used to college, getting used to the big classes, the big I remember my psych class was like at least like 200, 300 people. And I was coming from a small town with a high school that was just, I mean, I had a lot of people in my high school, but it wasn't as much as college. I had to get used to just navigating my classes, getting used to even the software that they use for the college itself. Like they had, I think we use Elms or Canvas, but basically I never even knew what that was. I had no idea how to use it. So one of my main challenges was using the school, what do you call it? What's that thing called? Website, I guess. So yeah, after getting used to that, getting used to the workload, honestly, it wasn't that there was a lot of work. It was just that there's not that much work. There's only like 3 tests in the whole semester, and you have to do well on them, because if you bomb one test, your chances of getting an A in the class is even lower. So getting used to the websites, the classes, the campus in general, getting used to just college life was a lot. And so having to deal with that, and also making up my mind that I wanted to actually complete the program, was a lot. And so one thing to combat that is just ask around. Literally, so many people have so much advice to give, especially upperclassmen, like whether or not it's relatives, whether or not it's people actually living on campus, going to your school with you. People always want to, help you out and tell you what to, like, let you know what they did and things you can learn from them. And so don't be afraid to ask. The third problem that I worried about was, the problem that I had was worrying about my science GPA in my science classes. Like in my previous video, I mentioned that in order to do the program, you had to have a minimum GPA, science GPA of 3.0. And you can only get a B minus. The lowest grade you could get in the science courses was a B minus. And UMD and their science classes are no joke. When I tell you, like, it's very stressful. I'm literally not lying. So one thing that I really had a problem with was just worrying about all the classes, worrying about the workload, if I would be able to pass the program because my grades weren't looking well. I remember when I was taking microbiome, Lord, I was sitting in the classroom the first 2 weeks of class, like, what are you talking about? Like, microbiome was a foreign concept to me. And so the first exam, I definitely bombed that. I bombed it. But one thing I will say is that don't worry too much, because everything is definitely going to play out in the end. This kind of ties into my next point in general, was procrastination. Like, if you don't procrastinate, you get a lot of things done. And just science classes, you really have to put the work in. And so worrying about my GPA for my science classes was one of the biggest problems that I had, along with procrastination. But one way that I towards the end of the semester, towards the end of my program, mostly my second year at UMD, I actually got my life together, and I was all about work, all about school. The stress that I was dealing with in terms of what will I be able to make the program, will I be able to do what I said I wanted to do, it went down a lot because I ended up getting my life together, not procrastinating as much, and actually just doing the best I could, studying as much as I could, asking professors, going to office hours and asking them for help and stuff like that. So and finally, one problem that I really faced was second guessing whether or not I wanted to do nursing. When you go to college, there's so many professions, there's so many things that you can study, and UMD is a very big school with a lot of different possibilities, a lot of different majors, and just talking to my friends and listening to the fact that they were doing this and doing that, I was like, well, that sounds interesting. That's really, do I want to do this? So that's one thing that I really had a lot of trouble with, second guessing whether or not this program was for me. I didn't know whether or not I wanted to really graduate with my BSN, because that's I would just have my bachelor's in nursing. I wouldn't really have a degree in anything else, and so I would have to go back to school. But I guess the one thing to combat that is just remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Why did you choose nursing to begin with? What about your decision is really important to you, I guess. I had to keep reminding myself that this is something that I really want to do. I really love helping people. I really love science. I love I love hospitals. I love just making people feel better. And what better job to do that than nursing? And I would also the pay. I mean, it's no, don't let the pay be the only reason why you're trying to do nursing. But when you're second guessing yourself, always remember the reason why you started what you were doing in the first place. On my desk, whenever I was studying or doing schoolwork, doing classwork, whatever I had to do, assignments, I had this sign staring right at me, and it says, when you feel like quitting, think about why you started. So whenever you feel like second guessing whether or not you want to do nursing, think literally about why you started. So those are the 5 things that I had to deal with. There was so much more. But I think I narrowed it down to 5 major things in my college career, the 2 years before entering into nursing school that I had to deal with. And so, yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, to like the video, to subscribe, and to share. If you can relate to anything that I just said, or if you have any more contributions or anything that you want to tell me, you want to ask me, don't forget to comment. I appreciate all the time that you put into watching my videos, and I'm gonna keep them coming, and I just appreciate everything. Thank you so much for watching the video, and have an awesome, wonderful, blessed day. Mwah.